So hey, welcome public group. Today, I don't know if you saw my post, we are going to be creating a wine vineyard inspired lantern swag. And you might be thinking to yourself, I don't use lanterns. I don't see how that's valuable. So a lantern swag can be added to your porch decor. It could be added to your fireplace mantle. It could be things you had never considered before. Matter of fact, that's my thought when I first started looking into lantern swags. I'm like, I don't use lanterns. But then once I did one, I'm like, oh, the possibilities, right? That you can use these with. So not only can it be used to adorn a lantern, you can take it off of the lantern and you can use it as a table runner. It can also serve as a substitute centerpiece. And for me, the lantern swag is probably one of the most versatile pieces that you could have in your home. It could substitute as a pillar wreath. It could substitute as a wreath on your front door that's more of like a swag look instead of the round wreath look. And so we're going to be making a winery wreath for 2024, but we're going to start with our lantern swag first. I'm going to walk you through all the steps. You're going to get it also a little bonus portion of a tutorial of like what to do when your flowers, your silk flowers, maybe they got smushed inside a big old bucket like I have here. And when you go to pull them out, they're kind of flattened and they're squished. I'm going to show you how we're going to resolve that. And you're going to love this tip. And then I'll show you how to do all the things. So I'm going to walk you through everything from beginning to end. But first of all, a couple things. If you like this tutorial and you want to share it, just if you're on Facebook, you're going to click the share button. It'll share this tutorial to your Facebook page. If you are on YouTube, super simple. You just click the share button and it'll share to however you have that set up on your YouTube profile. Also, to be notified when I go live on Facebook, you want to make sure that you have liked my page and that you're also following my page. You have to have them both turned on for Facebook to notify you. Go figure. So the like is easy to find. The follow, you're going to go straight across from the like button, 3 little dots, click on that like button. It'll open up another submenu, which will allow you to follow the page. Both of those, if you have them turned on, will notify you when anybody goes live on Facebook. So anyone you're following, those tips will actually work. For YouTube subscribers, you're just going to want to click the subscribe button and you'll be notified whenever we upload a new video. Now, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but I am offering a free masterclass today in business, how to get started in the online space for a small business. To register for that class, however, you're going to want to go to, I believe it's the top of this page. I have the VIP group linked. Click on that link. It's just going to ask you to input your email address and then I can go in and approve it. So we did a color theory class for design masterclass yesterday, which if you missed it, you'll still be able to review that. And actually all the content that's on the page, you'll have access to for the first year. After that, I don't know what we're going to end up doing with the page, but at least when you're in, you have access to that for at least a year. I'm going to go ahead and type in my information to go ahead and get started. Just give me 1 second, refreshing my page so I can actually get to the live portion. How many of you have actually made a lantern swag before? I'm kind of curious. So we're trying to mix it up a little bit this month and give you a little bit of everything so that it's not just race all the time. Don't want that there. There we go. Okay. Changing. Send. Click. I wish I could do this ahead of time. There we go. So my website is pinned down below. A lot of information you'll find there. There's some free tutorials. Bow making recipe is there. If you want to purchase this design, it is available there. It just has the generic Cats Creations live, and that'll be for those of you who want to purchase this. There's only going to be one available. And I think we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to pivot you down. Hang tight with me 1 second. I'll try to do this without disrupting my audio portion. Okay, there we go. So the first thing, hi Nancy, hi Lisa, hi Jan, good morning Elizabeth. So I haven't had anyone respond that they've made one of these before, so that's good. It means we'll be walking you through all the things. So here is our standard lantern. Let me give you all the dimensions on this one. It is a 6 by 6, and I want to say it's 18 inches tall. I have a white one and I have a black one so that I can have them for just about everything. This is 18 inches tall. You want to find a lantern, like I get mine at Hobby Lobby, because every once in a blue moon, Hobby Lobby will put their lanterns on sale for half off, and then that makes it really reasonable. These are also a great item to create if you are going to a craft fair, because you can have these displayed on your table. And we're always like, all we have is wreaths, what can we put on the table? Well, this is one of those designs you can have set up. You want to make sure, however, if you're listing it or you're putting it up for sale, that you put in the disclosure whether or not you are selling it with the lantern. Most of mine is just sold without. This is how you would attach it. So you're going to want something with a finial on top so that it's easy to attach. I like the luxury of having a handle here. My lantern actually does open, which is kind of nice because if you theme this, whatever you put on the inside can coordinate with whatever goes to the outside. I just don't have an awful lot of embellishments going with a wine kind of thing, but I could definitely see the inside. Maybe you just stack it full of wine corks. You know, you just would tilt it to the side like so, and then you would just pour all your wine corks inside. Nice little addition to the swag. You could fill it half full with the wine corks, put in a tall pillar, flameless candle. This is for flameless candle use only. You want to make sure you put that disclosure in too. And that would make a nice presentation. These would actually look really, really good as a centerpiece on a wedding table that is kind of like maybe happening at a winery. So the first thing you're going to want to do, like I said, get the lantern. 18 inches is where my sweet spot is. You can go bigger then, but I would definitely not go smaller. It becomes hard to kind of keep all your florals and all of your embellishments looking good enough to where it doesn't seem like everything's just smushed and consolidated. I feel like 18 is a good range. So what you're going to be focusing on is that your swag only occupies 1/4 of your lantern swag. We don't want it spilling over to the side. We don't want it completely covering the lantern. We want it to basically just be an accent to our lantern. So when I'm doing the swag and we're preparing it, you're going to see me constantly keep coming back to this and making sure that I'm like within the dimensions that I need this to be, which is why having your lantern is so handy. When you have a handle here, you want to make sure that your handle, like if we're doing the lantern swag on this side, I wouldn't want to do it because then it's going to impact the ability for my door. So I'm going to need to make sure that it is on the complete opposite side. What you do with the handle is completely up to you. I prefer, if I'm building my lantern swag here, to have the handle on the opposite side, like maybe to the back of the glass. So with that, I'm just going to kind of position that to the side. I am actually going to plug in, because I don't know how long it takes to get warm enough, but this is a mini hand steamer. So you just twist off the top, and then you can fill it full of water, twist it back on, and then this is how you remedy. Let me see if I have one of them. Like this rose that's kind of pretty smushed. It's kind of smushed this way. So we need to get it back to its little round shape. So using a steamer is exactly the way that you're going to want to do that for your artificial stems. Make sure that we have it tuned up, and then you'll see we'll go ahead and fix this, which is great. I never knew this, so so many of my florals I would just toss because I was like, oh, well, that's a little bit hopeless. It's actually going pretty quick. I want to make sure, you know, that all my petals are rearranged on the right side. Because sometimes, like I said, they end up getting squished. So we're kind of going with a Merlot color theme, like that burgundy look. And so I kind of felt like the florals on this needed to be along the lines of what my ribbon looks like. So my ribbon is right here. This is my theme for my design because we're not using a sign. And you can see we don't have it coming out just yet, but it will be shortly. So that Merlot color goes really good, as well as our Merlot color grapes. So that is kind of like where I'm getting my theme. Now we've got steam coming out. Super simple. You saw how quick it was. So remember, our flowers squished this way. We're just going to go ahead and place that right in front of the steamer. Get it nice and steamy. And now we're just going to simply reposition all this back in place. Kind of like looking at which way do my leaves go. Give it a little bit more steam. We're going to kind of pull that little petal up. And this is all you're going to do to remedy all of your silk florals. Let's go ahead and steam the top one last time. And it's just sitting in the container, just boiling away. And just like that, we've got our rose reshaped back into that nice rose look. We don't want it completely perfect because I don't know about you, I've never seen a perfect rose. They all eventually get to the point where the petals just kind of fall away. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. Super simple. I will link this in the description box for YouTube when it gets listed, and also for those of you that are watching this on a replay in Facebook when I can go back and do the edit. I'll put the link to this. I got it from Amazon, and actually the reason why I bought it wasn't to steam my silk florals. It was actually to remove the lines in a photo backdrop that I had. And then when I watched, I want to say it's Julie Samaco of Southern Farms Wreath, showed the tip. That's kind of where I got that from. That's how you fix your florals. So no more tossing your florals out. Okay. So if you guys have seen me do floral swags on the bike wheels or seen me do floral swags on, I'm grabbing all my florals over here. We are going to create a base built on just the greenery and our florals. So if you guys were with me any length of time, you saw that we had used these silver dollar picks from Amazon. I will again link these. I love these. I'm actually going to go back and get more of them because they are lightweight. They're perfect. We're going to be incorporating some eucalyptus. Two different styles. We have one here. We have one here. We're going to be incorporating those. And this is generally what I'll do. Is I'll just come in and I'll start laying in all of my floral pieces. Like we're going to do two up here. The bottom half is always going to be less than the top. The top is going to be 2/3 full. The bottom is going to be 1/3 full. We're actually going to come in here and grab these as well. Probably should have left my steamer on a little bit. I'm going to pull these. So, cutters. I'm going to go ahead and trim these down. It's just a different type of rose. This is more along the lines of, if want to say, like when I've gone to look at roses before, there's a tea rose and then there's a different kind, and the different kind is like a little bit more open on the end. These are from Michael's. Michael's is generally like my favorite place to go to get florals because they create a great quality floral. I'm going to remove this. Let's see. I think I'm going to need my bigger cutters. It's a little thicker than I'm used to. So that just makes that work so much easier. We'll remove our price tag. And you'll see how quickly this entire thing just goes together. Oop. There we go. That's off. We've got the little bud, which is a nice little accent piece. We're probably going to take this one, go a little bit up towards the top. We'll take this one. Like I might go a little bit higher on that side, a little bit lower right here. We'll definitely add the bud to the top because that's where our presentation line is. If I take this entire thing and pick it up by my hand, this is where the bow is going to go. I'm going to lay down my lantern and I'm just going to place this. And so what I want to see is where the end, I don't want this to come all the way down to the bottom. And at the very, very top of my lantern, I'm okay if it comes above the top of the finial. So right now, this is a little too low. So I need to make an adjustment. Oops, grabbed the wrong one. Because we'll need to get this in line so that it winds up right here at the end of my silver dollars. So knowing that I basically have a really good depth here, I'm just going to move this off to the side. And now what I want to do is just add in a little bit more of the background greenery up here with our silver dollars. I'm going to add in, I think I have one more. Trying to find out where I place that. Oh, it's right here. Okay. Gonna tuck this one in down here at the bottom. And so I'm going to kind of play with the position of my flowers initially. Like I want this one in the center, but with the bud off to the side. Now my florals are all wired, which means that for right now, everything is static. I'm going to focus on the top part right here. I want to move my leaves up a little bit more. I'm not sure if I want to bring this one up a little higher or if I want to pull it down a little bit lower. I think I kind of like it just above that portion. And so if I'm fine with this so far, I am going to grab a zip tie. And I think I'm going to use my black ones because they will blend in with my color palette a little bit more. So I'm just going to take this. I'm focusing more along the lines of the top, like right where I'm holding this. Ooh, why don't you want to go in? Because you're doing it the wrong way, Cat. But before I do that, I'm going to readjust this bottom a bit. I'm going to bring some of these up a little bit more, because remember those stems are in the bottom part of that. Okay, I'm good. Just because we have the uppers going into this section, I want to make sure that, hey, I've adjusted those along the lines of where I want those to be. So I also want to make sure that I have the majority of those in nice and tight. Okay, so I've kind of got all my stuff here at the top. As you notice, there are some of my picks from the lower half making their way up. I'm just going to go up and remove those. because we don't need those at that proportion. So anything that I pushed forward and making sure I've trimmed back. Now remember, all of my florals are wired, so I can move those around where I want them to go. Kind of want this one a little bit higher. We want to move some of that to this side. Here's that long floral again. Gotta remove a big chunk of what I don't need. There we go. Don't need that. Don't want that on the other side. So we've got to close this gap a little bit. And this is where I'm going to come in with our burgundy floral. Just like that. And I have a unique blend of florals, and I don't remember where I picked this up from. It could have been Michael's. It could have been somewhere else. But I like the colors of some of the florals in here. So it's just like one of those ready-made bundles that you can pick up. So I'm just kind of pulling some of these apart to see, hey, what is in that bundle? So I like, they have some, it looks like hydrangeas at some point. So we're going to definitely filter some of these in the top. I'm kind of thinking maybe those, maybe. Haven't yet figured that out. I'll turn my steamer back on and see if we can breathe some life into this hydrangea a bit. But we're going to take this, I'm thinking somewhere right along here. This again is going to get pulled up, pulled over, but I'm kind of liking that. So let me plug this back in. I didn't realize that there was actually florals all squished in there. And now that I think about it, also these are a little too light. I was thinking maybe, because these are some fall florals, they're not along the lines. It says spring fall floral, and I think that these ones might be pretty. Let's see what's in this box. These are from Amazon, and you can buy them all pre-done. I love this. I like the little pom-pom pieces that are in there. Trying not to go over the top crazy. There's another rose. So these ones are artificial as well. I like this pom-pom piece. So just for some texture, a little bit something different. I'm cutting down what I don't need. So I'm gonna tuck. I kind of want this, if I'm even going to use it. Let's get rid of that leaf. I think the leaf just feels a little too heavy. We'll come in here. And I'm kind of feeling it like that is the direction I think I'm headed. See if I want these ones in. Now the goal is don't go too wide. Remember, we're trying to keep that all intact. And I kind of like, so far, trying to get that one in so I can squeeze it in. We're going to take another one of my black zip ties, and now I'm going to secure the lower half. And I've kind of closed the gap a little bit. Okay. So I've got, is this a snip? There we go. I've got an upper and I've got a lower look. Bringing my lantern over. This is kind of where we're headed. Now, I know you guys are probably asking, right? Because I know in the back of my head I'm asking, where are the grapevines? Where are the grape leaves? Well, we're going to be adding those, but they come, this is the way I buy mine. So I buy them as a garland, right? Just like this, because you get a lot more without spending a ton of money. So I'm just going to cut that end piece off like this that has nothing on the end. There's that. Kind of feeling that's still a little too heavy. If I bring this over, and I'm kind of looking at, like, I don't want to put a bunch of heavy leaves on the top. I'd rather these be a little bit more towards the bottom. So, meaning these coming in down here to kind of filter in. I might even do them on the back and just kind of have these come in on the back side like that. So we have the grape vines doing the same thing. There is a small section and a large section. So like this one comes in with the smaller variety of leaves. And then we also have these coming back up to the top. Now, if I like all that, again, one final zip tie should do it, provided I can find my zip ties. Oh, here we go. Right in the center. That'll hold both of those. Once Cat actually realizes he had it the right way. It just didn't seem like it was. Going right in here. Gotta move my leaf out of the way. Go ahead and snip that off. We will save the other half of our grapevine. So now, back up on our lantern, bringing this up a little bit more. We've got it coverage just on the front quarter. Now we're going to start to tie it all together to make it really feel a little bit more like a vineyard theme. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Nancy. I love these colors too. Welcome, Mary Carol and Blanche. And Lisa, thank you. Okay, so this is why I was saying you could technically pull this out and this could become a very small centerpiece for a table. So we're just gonna kind of jazz it up a little bit. We're gonna create our bow and then we're gonna add all those fun details that you guys all love, that I love. I'm gonna take a lot of the bigger leaves and move those to the back. Pull my other ones more towards the front. Let's make our bow. So the only thing that I'm using my bow dabber for is to hold all my ribbon. I'm not measuring. This will be one of those weird times where like, wow, she never measured anything. So here is all my ribbon. So we have the Vineyard inspired. This has grapes on it. Green and the Merlot color. So we've got this craft outlet for this one is shop Fifth Street Studios on Etsy, and then this Merlot color is from a company called Shinoda. They're based in Southern California in Santa Ana. They're a wholesaler, and so when I lived in Southern California, that's where I got a lot of my ribbon from. So kind of like this color palette, how I have it set up. So we're going to start with our Merlot at the back. We're going to create a dovetail edge, which is just take our wired edges, bring them together. We're going to go from the fold to the wired point, just like this. And what you want to do is measure roughly where do you see your ribbon tails kind of falling. And we're going to do what's called a funky bow. We're not going to kind of go with that generic look. So This one right now is roughly about 8 inches. So we are just going to start building a weird bow. We're going to go twist. I'm just going to randomly, I'm not measuring at all. I want to do some smalls, some shorts, some longs, and this one's going to be a little bit of a shorter tail. We're going to dovetail the end. The funky bow kind of is just like, it has no rhyme or reason. We just kind of put it together. We don't want our tails to be any longer. I don't think I can get this one. I think it's got, we might be able to incorporate that on the second go round. So we'll go here. And it depends if you want a lot of tails or you want a little tail. You can kind of mix and match, kind of going roughly about there for the top. I'm going to do another sloppy little loop. I'm just kind of looking at where the tail's falling. No measurement at all. This one will do a small tail or small loop, but with a little bit longer tail. We will dovetail that end. I always just take the time to dovetail them early on because it just makes finishing the product so much easier. Okay, dovetail again. And I'm just going to kind of look at this and gauge, kind of like where that's falling. We're going to go ahead and make a little bit longer. This side will go a little bit longer, maybe a little bit shorter. And then out here, I'll go a bit longer and dovetail. And then we're going to run those through one more time. Now, if you have different ribbon, you can come in with a bunch of different other colors and textures. But I'm staying with this color palette because, like I said, we're going a little bit more Merlot based. These ones are going to be a bit shorter because these are the upper. So coming in here, looking at where does that fall. A little bit shorter. Short. So that's what I'm saying. You don't have to follow a recipe to make a really beautiful bow. You could just eyeball the entire thing. That ribbon is just about done. Oops. Okay, we're going to take this and see if we can reuse this piece that has been lingering forever. Okay, I just want to make sure that there's enough there for me to be able to fluff. I'm going to go a little bit smaller. A little bit smaller here. And let's cut that right there. And that uses up that piece. So that's why I'm saying if you have ribbon that's roughly about 2 feet, don't throw it away. Just tack it on to the existing ribbon and then you'll be good. You can use that in something like this where I don't have to worry about, well, I don't have enough ribbon if I wanted to do tails. It's okay. You just need a couple pieces. And we'll do the final for here. Kind of feeling a little bit shorter, like right there. A little bit here. And then let's go here. And then I'm going to run that out to about there. That's called, I guess I would call that no rhyme or reason bow. There's no rhyme, there's no reason, there's no logic. We just threw everything out into the wind. Oop. Okay, now we are going to tie this off with a pipe cleaner, and we're going to attach it to our swag. So I'm going to compress and pick everything up, and we're not fluffing this one on the fluff board. We're going to be fluffing this one on the actual swag. So a couple twists. I'm going to put that away. We're going to come right in the center of this. We're going to go ahead and twist that on. And now we are going to fluff, and I'm going to start from the top because logically that's where it all makes sense, right? So I'm just going to, you'll see me like pull a tail off to the side. I might pull a loop in a totally different direction. Okay. I'm just going under, fluffing everything. And remember, we don't want all the loops on one side because everything is geared for top and bottom, side, everything. Okay. I know I've got one loop under here. Trying to get that one up. And that's just one side. Super cute, just on that side. There we go. I'm going to pull some of the darker ones to the bottom. Got some of our red ones going to the top. Trying to get in here and really give it some really pretty movement in the ribbon. Let's see if we can get this one up and over. So it's all just about your preference. What look do you want where? That so far is looking gorgeous. I've got, you cannot see into this any way, shape, or form. We still have our greenery on the bottom. If we pull our lantern back over, this is what we're looking like so far. So it looks great. Now we want to add a couple little accent pieces, and this is where your glue gun is going to kind of come into play. So these grapes I got at Hobby Lobby, and don't be afraid to go in and give them a cute little trim. I'm gonna take some, let's see, where would I want these to kind of hang? Kind of thinking they need to be like right about here so I can kind of see them. So I can floral wire them in, or I can glue them at the top. Let's try the floral wire. And I'm just going to go around the very top level of my grapes. Give them a twist. And I'm going to kind of bring them in right about here. I just need to work that back down into that pick section that we have. But you just don't want to like wham, stick it on there, because then you don't want it. I've lost my wire. I had it in my hand and then I let go because I made this side obviously a little too short. Oops. Let me undo these, or let's just start over. let me make sure I put them even lengths right here around our grapes. So I'm just going up right around the very top level. Gonna make sure that I've measured this out equally. Okay, now it should be easier to get this to go in. It's gonna go in right here. So I'm just gonna move some things and try to get it back around my central piece. Go around my flower. Kind of working off the side. So that I can just kind of have the little ends of my grapes sticking out. Like, oops. Trying to get, there's like a fuzz right underneath there. But there's some grapes. We're going to do that again. I kind of go up a little higher. And I want to kind of tuck some right under here. I'm just kind of looking. I like the smaller ones. They do have larger ones, but I feel like if we're going to incorporate these, they need to be in just like little cute bunches. So I'm feeling like we will add some under here. So we'll have some grapes there. Let me pull these off the swag. So I'm doing one off one side, and we're going to do one here off the other side. Same thing. This is 26 gauge floral wire. At Hobby Lobby, if you go it's like every other week or every third week, you'll find their grapes are on sale. Like it'll be like 40% off. So you can definitely add those. There's some darker ones. I'm not sure I want to incorporate that. I kind of like the Merlot color better. Let's grab this one. And these were like $3.79 normal price. So even 40% off if you can take them and break them down. Find a way to make these work more to your advantage by breaking them into smaller pieces, then that's a bonus for you. Okay. So I'm going to kind of go right in here. I'm just going to see if I can kind of weave this around some of my floral and then just pull it together. So I'm going to kind of pull it up where I want it to be. So it's kind of going right there. It's just right next to the grapevines. I'm just going to trim that off the back. So these are like little surprises to find along the greenery. So it is tucked in right here by our leaves. There's a little bit of those Merlot colored grapes. And I'm going to do this on the other side as well, because there's like an opening on the side. So this is what you can also do. Okay, and I'm going to smash my thing. Is I'm going to grab like this piece here. It's got a pretty thick stem on it. Okay, where'd you go? Helps if you have it straight, like a needle. And I want this up and around. Find. Where did my other wire go? Here it is. Oops. So I feel like I'm doing surgery, where you have those doctors who just put their little little bonus pieces in. Tuck that in. That will kind of fall into place. I just got to move my leaves up under it. See, I smashed my bow because I laid it flat. Not to worry, because we can lift it, fluff it. And again, still tucking that underneath so that we have a little bit of our grapes here. Okay, now let me fit this for the lantern so you can see how the lantern pushing goes. Now we were doing, this is the top, this is our bottom. Move these out of the way. I'm going to take 22 gauge floral wire, and we're going to create a hanger that's going to go around the top of the finial. I kind of need it a little bit on the long side. Let's see what this looks like. It's about 20 inches. So pardon me, I'm going to do this so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to flip it. So here is, we're going to get rid of that. I did not see that. That is just a pick that had no point. I am going to go right here at the top. We're just going to grab a big chunk of all of our base that we've built. Oops. Trying to get it under my greenery, making sure that I've got equal amounts. We're going to put a couple twists on this. Well, since we're here, let's clean up the rest of this. We'll go ahead and trim up the bow wire. Tuck that down. So now this is the top of our finial. Fluff, fluff, fluff again. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and stand my lantern up again, making sure which side does my door open. Okay, we're going this side. We got that big old wire in here. That wire is going to go wrap around our finial. And if you feel like you need to bring it down a bit, you decide where you want it to go. And then the only thing that we're doing, let me move the camera up a bit so you can see. Oops, sorry. We're just twisting this around the top of our finial. They're going to come back and tuck these in place. And then now what you're going to do is you're going to start to bend things to kind of go in the direction that our lantern is in. And this is where you get to play a bit. You can bring these out. You can bring these to the side. We can bring the bud up. If I want to see those grapes, I can tuck some of my ribbon in, out, under. I'm doing this one. I'm going to go this side because I have a burlap ribbon right here. And I'm going to pull these ones down a bit. So I'm always trying to keep my ribbon moving so that it's not static. So I have it kind of curling. And I'll always have someone that goes, it's not even. It doesn't look the same on both sides. It's not supposed to. I designed it that way. You don't want it to be the same all the way around. Kind of pulling my grapes out to the side. I think what I want in the center of my bow is I'm going to take a very small cluster of grapes. And I'm just going to, this is where glue comes in to play, right in here on that stem. I'll go a little bit bigger, hit some of the grapes on that side. I'm going to take and place that right in. I'm going to pull this down. right in the center of that bow, so that the grapes that you don't see here, we can add more if we want. We can add some. Well, there is one right here. There's a cluster right here. They're kind of designed to be a little bit on the thin side. Okay. So grapes, ribbon, grape leaves. We've got eucalyptus, silver dollars. Again, I'm moving my florals because I don't want them to be static. So I'm pulling them away from that bundle, pulling them up, pulling ribbons down and behind so that we have a really nice floral. So as you're looking through your design, you might say, I want to add more pieces of eucalyptus. I want to add maybe, let's say for example, you just want to add this little touch right here, like you might have a hole, but you're like, oh, that would look really pretty if I took like a little piece of eucalyptus and tagged that in there. Well, this is where the power of glue comes into play. I have a little bit here. I'm going to go in and I'm sticking that right in to the center of our bundle. So it just got glued right on top of the bundle. I'm going to do the same here. Of course, this one doesn't want to come off its little stem, but everything else does. And so I'm going to do the same thing right here so that we have, I don't know if I like that color. Yeah, I like that. So again, tuck right where you want to add some dimension, some other looks. Kind of coming up under the bottom of it. Wherever you might have like a little hole where you feel like, it seems like there's something missing. You can kind of come in with some smaller picks and add those into your design. Like I feel like maybe right in here would be cute. So I've added those 4. Right back into the center of our design. And then once you're all done with it and you're happy with it, then you're finished. If you want to add some creamy elements into that, you can. You could, I know I brought them over here. We have some, these are too white. I'm looking at, what else did I have over here? We can come in with, there are some mums. Still the right color palette. It's still that mossy color. If you want to come in and add in some cream, you can. These are from the Dollar Tree. I get these. I order most of my florals online. Once I physically see that they're fairly decent, I will just order them online. And when you order these from the Dollar Tree, they come in, I think it's 5 different colors. So I am trying to find my center. Might be under here. Maybe our pick is just a little too long. And feel free to rearrange all of your florals so they achieve the look that you want. So mix and match, pull them around, anything that you would like, whatever your preference is. Kind of like those ones at the top. I definitely feel like I want something here at the bottom. with a little bit of cream in it. Just a touch. And I can bring this one kind of, let's do this. I know where I want it to go, and sometimes it's just like, well, I didn't have everything ready for it. Okay, again, fluff, 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 fluff. Pull these out and glue them, and I am pretty much done. And that's how quick and easy everything goes with your florals. So we're going to pull these back out and make them a permanent home. But once you get your base done, feel free to come in and just look at, hey, where else do I want to add some base florals? Because these ones we can separate and bring them around in a couple different directions. Like I can take this long one and bring it way out here, take the shorter one and bring it down. The ones that I did up here, I kind of took the longer one and brought it back behind the baby rose, so that it had like a corresponding color to separate it. So I'm just weaving front. But other than that, I think I'm really content with the way I like this. So here is, I know this is going to be kind of hard for you to see, but there is the lantern swag, and you're kind of looking at it from a different perspective. Everything is geared around those colors. We have grapes. We have some burgundy colored roses. We have a hybrid type of a rose. We have all of those colors kind of tied in here. I don't really feel the need, like we need to bring in the limey green Thompson grapes. But then at the bottom, we could, let's say for example, for staging, right? You could come in with some raffia. Let's just say we want to take all of this raffia. We just kind of want to create a nice little base down here. And because I don't have any of the other, like, what do you call them? Wine corks. I'm just going to kind of come in here with the colors of my grapes. Going to kind of try to duck and hide all these. And then we'll come in. Since we've already done these, I don't like taking all the stuff off. Just for staging. We can also take in and add in some of our grapevines. I'm going to take that off the top because I don't like it. We can tuck our grape leaves in. These are a bit big. Do we have any smaller ones? I'm just going to take these. I like that color. There we go. I'm going to take these little ones and I'm just going to kind of tuck them in. I'm going to shut my door. Oops. I've got a little bit of my grapes plugging up the hole, but now we've kind of created a little a way to adorn the inside of the lantern without using a candle. Again, you could add a flameless pillar candle. That's one of the things I need to pick up because leaving them out in my shop has kind of tweaked them slightly. And so they're a little bit on the deformed side. They're no longer round. They're kind of like a weird oval. But that just kind of makes that whole theme kind of come together with your winery swag that goes right up to the top. And see from all sides, whoops, sorry, there's that. We had the front, we had the other side, and then we have the back, and our handle is still function. So this would be adorable on a, like if you're having a wine party, you know, and you're doing a wine tasting, you can have that as your centerpiece for your design. You can have this on your table. You can put in a flameless candle with some wine corks and let this be your centerpiece and then design everything else. You could take your, whatchamacallit? You could take your, you can go buy the garland at Hobby Lobby. You can wrap this around them and then just plop in bunches of grapes. And there you go. Home decor at its easiest. And you've done it all from scratch. So I love keeping the greenery because it's handy to have. But what do you guys think? I know it's kind of hard to see the whole thing. Let me try to lift you up and see if we can kind of do it this way. There we go. There's our swag. That's going to go great with the wreath that we're going to be making, with a lot of more of the burgundies and ivory and creams, a little bit more of the darker sage. So again, wedding, wine party, vineyard. Sometimes people just do that whole kind of thing. Right, Susan, she said this is super easy. Absolutely. And not overly complex. If you want to take it off and you're just going to untwist this, you can use that as a table runner. Like I said, you can do them for any color. You can do them for any theme. This was one of the ones that we did for Easter. So this was the Easter swag that we made, just like this. And this can go on your door as a swag. It can go on a pillar as a swag. It can go on your table as a centerpiece, right in the middle of your table, like last minute. Right? Teresa's like, I love it. I'm all into wine decor. So now you know you can take a pair of those and create something gorgeous like this. I can just imagine this on a summer night where you have like fairy lights, or you have the carnival lights out on your patio. You have some candles burning on the inside. Adorable decor, honestly. And all just with a lantern that most people never would have thought, oh, I would have never thought to decorate my lantern. Yeah, here you go. So any other questions you guys have that I can answer for you? If you're interested in purchasing this piece, you can click on the link below at my website. It is available for sale. It's the only one I'm going to create. I will be designing a wreath around this so that this is where you do cross-marketing, where you can say, look, I have a wreath, but also this. You buy them, you know, we can ship them in the same box kind of thing, and you can have a bunch of different looks. But, all right. Well, thank you guys all for joining me, and I will talk to you later. Have a great weekend if I don't talk to you before then. And don't forget, keep on creating. Bye for now, everyone.